Once we understand how increasing and decreasing returns to scale work in production, it's time to start looking at how this works out in costs. Let's say that we're a firm, we're going to be a delivery firm, and right now we've got one truck, one driver, and we make a certain amount of deliveries in a day. We're going to be at what we call short run average cost curve 1. This should look familiar. It's no different than AC, average cost or average total cost, when we've been looking at it before to understand the short run choices a firm might make. In the long run though, of course, we take a more expanded view. So currently this firm is working in this mode, and the minimum cost they can get, so the point of productive efficiency, if you will, is at P1 for an output of Q1. If this firm decides that they want to go beyond Q1, if they want to start delivering more packages than what they can do at P1, Q1, then they have a choice to make. If they keep just the same setup, one truck, one driver, then what they're going to see start to happen is the costs that they face are going to start to come up, the average costs. And this might be maybe they have to pay the worker, the driver more money to stay on. Maybe driving more is going to cause more maintenance issues. Maybe they have to start driving during a time of the day where there's more traffic. Who knows? What they do though is what they think about is, well, we're limited. We can't go beyond Q1 and bring our prices down. But what if we double the amount of trucks we have? What if we buy one more truck and hire one more driver and operate that way? So in doing so, because the truck here was a fixed input, pretty easy to hire a new driver, but getting a new truck is kind of tough. It takes a little bit more time perhaps. When they double this, what we see is that would be what we call increasing returns to scale. In that, their production is going to more than double. If you're confused about what I'm talking about, you need to go back to the last video. Well, let's ask this question: why would their returns to scale more than double? I mean, with 2 drivers and 2 trucks, shouldn't they do just twice as much as they were before? The answer is no, and that's because there's going to be some specialization that occurs because of this. If we're thinking about a larger area, a place that, an area that might be serviced by a delivery company, well, now with 2 drivers, instead of having to go all over the area, they could take the area and break it into halves. So you get really 2 advantages out of this. First, and probably most importantly, you save a lot of time by not having to drive back and forth across such a large area. Secondly, the drivers probably become much more aware of how to get around inside of that area. So maybe little shortcuts to take, or when it's best to go here or there, or whatever it might be. Because of those advantages, what we're going to see is that with 2 trucks, they can actually deliver more than twice as many packages as they could before. Because of that, because of the increasing returns to scale, their costs are going to decrease. The cost of delivering each one of these packages is going to go down. We see that on short run average cost curve 2. It's a new short run because they changed all of the factors of production. So here, they can produce up until the minimum point here at Q2 for an even lower price, P2. Well, obviously that's a good thing. You would love it if you could produce more and it cost you less. That's great. Well, what happens if they hire a 3rd truck? Well, we would see this again. That by hiring a 3rd truck, again, we see increasing returns to scale, and what that is going to work out in is that they can produce more at a lower price. At some point though, just like before, we're going to run into where these advantages are going to run out. Maybe we've subdivided our area into so many places that we don't really have room for a 5th truck. Maybe we're putting so many trucks on the road that we're causing traffic and slowing ourselves down. Hard to say. But what we do see is that once we go to 5 trucks in this example, here, even though output is going to increase, it's going to move to the right, we also see this minimum point of SRAC 5 is higher than the one before it. So we ran out of the advantages that we were getting by increasing our scale.